Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the Swaggy Jake Experience. So today I'll be talking about basketball, particularly the NBA. So will the Toronto Raptors win the 2019 NBA Championship? Or at least the East? Let's take a look. Before we look how they are now, let's first take a look how they got there. First, let's go back to the 2012-2013 NBA season. So that year, the Raptors managed to get 34-48. Their coach was Dwayne Casey, their executive was Brian Colangelo. Brian Colangelo is not the best executive, but he's decent. Because that year, he managed to pull off a trade to get Rudy Gay to the Toronto Raptors. At the time, Rudy Gay was kind of like a borderline all-star. He could give you buckets, he's pretty athletic, So they traded Jose Calderon, Ed Davis, and a second-round pick for Rudy Gay and Hamid Haddadi. So that trade made the Raptors kind of respectable, but didn't really push them to the hump because they still didn't make the playoffs. So the following year is the game changer because the Toronto Raptors acquired the best acquisition that they had this decade, in my opinion. Guess who? Masai Ujiri, the man, Masai Ujiri. That guy is such a good executive because basically he's the same guy that pulled off the Carmelo Anthony trade to send him to the New York Knicks to grab a bunch of assets in return. And then he made the Denver Nuggets, pretty much good the season following after he traded his superstar. Carmelo was a superstar at that point, right? So they got him. So what did he do? The first thing he did, he traded Andrea Bargnani. Do you know who Andrea Bargnani is? So basically, this guy was supposed to be the next Dirk Nowitzki. He was supposed to be the Kristaps Porzingis before Kristaps Porzingis was even a thing. You know what I mean? So Kristaps Porzingis got drafted number 4. 9 years before that, Andrea Bargnani got drafted number 1. Basically, he's a 7-footer that could shoot free, could score the ball, came from Europe, came from Italy, have that European flavor in him. But just never really had the passion for the game. He never really turned out to be the superstar that people kind of projecting him to be, like, a guy that could carry a team. He just never turned out to be like that. And Masai Ujiri is a good scout of talent, and he saw like, hey, we're not gonna go anywhere with Andrea Bargnani, so we'll trade him away. And at the time, DeMar DeRozan wasn't the best player. Kyle Lowry was not the same player he is now. So Rudy Gay was basically the best player in the Toronto Raptors. So what did Masai Ujiri did? He traded him away. You know why? Because they weren't doing too well. So basically, they have 3 players that are ball hogs. There are players that they can score the ball. They're basically like 20-point scorers. They're not like Steph. They're not like Clay. They're not like KD that will give you 30 points a night, no problem. These are decent players. They're not superstars. They're good players. They'll give you 20, but they won't give you 30. And sometimes they struggle. So the team struggle. So he traded him away. So who did he trade him for? He basically traded Rudy Gay, Aaron Gray, and Quincy Acey to the Sacramento Kings for Chuck Hayes, Patrick Patterson, John Sammons, and Gravis Vasquez. You have to realize, a year prior, Brian Colangelo just traded away Jose Calderon. They didn't really have a backup point guard. So the team have strong starters that could score the ball, but then they weren't really complete. So when they got these players, what they did, they basically complete their roster. So you got Chuck Hayes, backup center. You got Patrick Patterson, backup power forward. John Sammons could give you some buckets, but he didn't really last to the team too much. And Gravis Vasquez was the biggest acquisition out of that because basically he sparked off the bench. So what happened was that kind of started the Toronto Raptors team becoming complete. And this is the vision of Masai Ujiri. So that year they ended up finishing 48-34. The best in the franchise history at the time. So 48-34 under Masai Ujiri. But unfortunately, their team is not that complete yet. Because the all-star that they got are borderline all-star. So they basically struggle in the playoffs, 4-3 against the Nets. And then the following year, they did decent. They got the 49 win. They still didn't get the 50. And then that year, they didn't really make much changes. What they did, they traded Gravis Vasquez. For who? Norman Powell's basically contributing now, and the 2017 first round pick, which turned out to be OG Anunoby. Basically, OG Anunoby is kind of like a Kawhi Leonard type. You have to develop his offense, but he's pretty good with defense. So that year they lost to the Wizards. They got swept actually, 4-0, because the two All-Stars they got are basically like borderline All-Star. They're not superstar level. They're not like Steph, KD, that will really carry your team in the playoffs. That will really give you buckets. So they always struggle in the playoffs because defense got tighter. The coaches really study your game and tell their players to like, hey, defend this guy that way. So you really got to show up. Unfortunately for the Raptors, their offense always struggle in the playoffs. And then the thing is, their biggest problem is defense, basically perimeter defense. I thought they got that out of DeMarre Carroll, but he was kind of pretty often injured that year. It didn't really help them that much. So they were going with Terrence Ross as a 6'6" guard, and then DeRozan is not really a defender. So that's the thing that they've always been missing. So they did well 56-26, but they struggle against the Heat and the Pacers. They won a 7-game series but really struggled. And they were supposed to make the leap that year because everyone was saying like, oh, this is the year the Raptors gonna make it. This is the year the Raptors gonna get out of the East. And now it's just like, no, I don't think so yet because they still don't have a defense for LeBron. They don't have a perimeter defense for LeBron. And exactly what happened. They lost 4-2 against Cleveland Cavaliers. And then the following year, they kind of dropped a little bit because they only got a 51-win season. They got a 51-31 in the 2016-2017 season. But there are a couple of key acquisitions that Masai Ujiri did. So he acquired Pascal Siakam, 27th pick. He acquired Jakob Poeltl with the 9th pick. And he acquired Fred VanVleet, and a drafted guard. He acquired them all. But those three are still rookies, so they weren't really helping too much. They're developing players. So what happened was, that year they won 4-2 against the Bucks, but they ended up losing 4-0. They got swept by the Cleveland Cavaliers because they just don't have defense against LeBron. So anyways, fast forward to last year, 2017-2018. The Raptors achieved the highest win record they had so far, a 59-win season. So they end up having a 59-23 record, but they didn't really do too much that year. All they did, they traded away Corey Joseph, basically a key player off the bench. They didn't really do too much aside from they kept their core intact. Their defense is really good because Dwayne Casey's a good defensive coach. And then Nick Nurse was their assistant coach, and is a pretty good offensive coach. So they did well during the regular season, but again during the playoffs they struggled. They won 6 games, 4-2 against the Wizards, and then again they got swept by the Cleveland Cavaliers against LeBron James. So back to my original question. Will the Toronto Raptors win the 2019 NBA Championship, or at least the East? Well, if there's a year they're gonna do it, I think this is gonna be the year. They might not defeat the Golden State Warriors because the Golden State Warriors is really stacked, but they're definitely gonna get out of the East because let's look at their roster. So at the beginning of the seasons, they basically just acquired the best perimeter defender out there that you can get, the best perimeter that you can get out there. And on top of that, you also got Danny Green. You gotta realize, who do you get rid of? You got rid of DeMar DeRozan, whose offense is okay, like I said, but you replace him with Kawhi Leonard's offense too, you gotta realize. But this guy got no defense. You got rid of Jakob Poeltl, who he never really used because Pascal Siakam really improved. And then you traded away the first round pick. So basically you traded away DeMar DeRozan, Jakob Poeltl, and a first round pick for 2 defenders that could score the ball. Danny Green is a defender that can shoot 3. Kawhi Leonard can score in any facet of the game, could pretty much do what DeMar DeRozan could do, but defend the best player on the other court. That's different. So you added those 2, and now you got Kyle Lowry, changing his game a little bit, not being the ball hog, because Kawhi Leonard now is number 1. We know that. There's no confusion like who's number 1, who's number 2. Kawhi's number 1. So now Kyle Lowry's producing a lot more assists than he used to be. And those 2, Pascal Siakam and Serge Ibaka, slash and score the ball, could shoot 3 a little bit, and defend. So basically, you got all defenders can defend. So you get rid of Dwayne Casey, defensive coach, you replace him with Nick Nurse, basically the assistant coach, offensive assistant coach, with all these defenders. This, if you were to tell them, hey, play one-on-one defense, these are all one-on-one defenders. They could all do it. And then all you gotta do is just show them some good offense. That's why the Raptors so good, because Nick Nurse, have them in such a good offensive mode, and their defense is so good. That's why they're good this year. If they didn't make the trade, and LeBron was to go back to Cleveland, Cleveland will still beat the Raptors this year. But if they had made the trade and LeBron go back to Cleveland, I don't think Cleveland will beat Raptors. Because LeBron is the Raptors' kryptonite. But Kawhi is LeBron's kryptonite. That's the thing. That's why I feel they're really gonna get out of the East, because who's gonna compete against them? The Boston Celtics? You got Kyrie Irving. And you got everybody else struggling. Jason Tatum is not the same player he was when he was rookie. Maybe he shows up in the playoffs, but I don't think they're gonna get the Raptors, because the Raptors are just too stacked, They're just too stacked. They're too sick. I mean, the roster is composed of players. They're not specifically 3-point shooters, but they can all shoot three. They could all slash. They could all score the ball. They could all defend. And then the thing is, they're not afraid to get hit. These guys are dogs. They're like bulldogs. They'll come at you. You know what I mean? They don't get scared. They don't care if they get hurt. So I don't think Boston's gonna beat them. No. Well, the Milwaukee Bucks beat them. They got Giannis, but you got Kawhi. Now it comes down to who's the other players? You got Bledsoe, you got Brogdon, you got Chris Middleton. But is that enough against the Raptors? Because the Raptors also got Lowry, Ibaka's playing well, Pascal Siakam is playing well. But you gotta realize their bench is pretty stacked too. Because they added Greg Monroe. They added Patrick McCaw this year. And then you got DeLon Wright, got to give you buckets. You got OG Anunoby, it's in the bench now. You got CJ Miles will give you buckets. You got Norman Powell will give you buckets. Van Vliet. And then now you got Jonas Valanciunas, right? He used to be a starter. This guy could give you 20-10 on a given night. Now it's in the bench, right? So who else is going to beat the Raptors in the East? You got Philadelphia 76ers. I mean, they got Joel Embiid. They got Ben Simmons. They got a good shooting for JJ Redick. And you got Jimmy Butler, but they're not really cohesive. You know what I mean? They're not playing as a real team, in my opinion, because they all have big egos. Unlike the Raptors, Kawhi is a nice player, but we all know he's the best player, and everybody else knows, okay, Kawhi is the best player. So there's not much ego going on. So definitely they will get out of the East. But do I think they will beat the Golden State Warriors? They could on a given night. I mean, Golden State Warriors have to really beat themselves because they're just that good. So I guess I don't think the Raptors will win this season, the NBA championship, but they have the best chance. And if there's any other year that you think hey, this is it, this is the Raptors year, this is it, Because if they were to go to the finals and almost win the championship, I think they could really resign Kawhi. Guess what? They will have another year of experience to go to next year. And now they're going to be even better. And then I don't think Golden State will be the same, because you're not going to be able to keep all of them. But Golden State will be a little bit depleted. And if the Raptors could stay the same or be a little bit better, I think you're going to get them next year. But anyways, thank you all for listening. I really appreciate y'all. Please like, comment, subscribe, and please share. Have a great day, guys.